So I seen a post the other day, a versus battle between Plasticman and Superman, and it really got me thinking because the poll was kind of close, with Plasticman even winning by a couple percent. And I thought to myself, like the general consensus of Plasticman is he's underrated, super OP, right? But even among comic book fans or people who like superheroes, if you went up and asked them, most times out of 10, they wouldn't know too much about or even who Plasticman was. So it was baffling to see that. So in this little video, I just wanted to give out my 2 cents of how I think a battle would go down between the two. Because yeah, Plasticman is actually kind of underrated in terms of his character and obviously his power. But on the other hand, it's Superman. Like, he's not unbeatable, but you know, he's above Plasticman. So let's get into it. Now a quick little overview on his origin for people who don't know about Plasticman. See, his origin is a little similar to Joker's actually. Just in the sense that before he was a hero with his powers, he was a crook. And during one of his missions with his crime buddies, he broke into and was planning to rob a chemical plant. But things went wrong and the police arrived, in which they wind up shooting Patrick O'Brien, which is his name. And so they wind up shooting Patrick. And while being shot, he got dumped and was exposed to an unknown amount of chemicals, which after touching his skin, getting engulfed in it, his flesh became rubbery and plastic, thus being the Plasticman we know. Now yes, that is a very brief overview of his origin, but just a little context for you to know who he is. But the main meat and potatoes is his abilities. And you know, because of his namesake, Plasticman, he can stretch himself and is very elastic. So because of it, he can alter his size, he can shapeshift into different objects, like completely. He can completely morph his body into anything he can think of. A car, even people's clothing, which he is kind of fond of doing that. He even has an heightened agility and even superhuman strength by stretching and growing and adding more muscle mass to his body. He even has telepathic immunity, immortality, as he does not seem to age, and if he does, it is at a very slower rate than a normal human. And he does this all through his complete control over his entire molecular structure due to the chemical that he ingested through his bullet wound back at the chemical plant. Because of his plastic and elastic nature, he is very invulnerable, especially to physical attacks like punching and blunt attacks. And he is able to regenerate, so he can regrow and regenerate lost or damaged tissue. Though it may take longer, but it is way faster than any ordinary human. And now moving on to Superman, which, let's be honest, do we really need an introduction for him? He's the Man of Steel, like the most influential and most popular hero ever. So here's how I would see a battle going down between the two, if they would ever come to blows, and why I think it's not close at all. See, even though Plasticman is very powerful and versatile, he has a very specific weakness or vulnerability to heat and temperatures, cold or hot, even to some chemicals, but that won't really play a factor here. But even then, even if he is exposed to these extreme temperatures, whether it be hot or cold, it's not an instant defeat. Say, someone with kryptonite to Superman. It is more like a setback. It will be hard to permanently kill him. Even when completely frozen or burned, eventually he will reassemble himself, as he has complete control over his molecules. But some of the things he does lack in this hypothetical battle with Superman is he has no real way to harm Superman, and vice versa to an extent. Superman's punches and normal attacks really won't do anything to Plasticman due to his elastic nature. But Superman does have heat vision, which should hurt and stall him, and Superman's speed. While Plasticman is no slouch in speed, like he's faster than a normal human, as most heroes are, he's not Superman fast, as Superman could move before Plasticman even has time to react and just toss him into space or even into the sun, which Plasticman has no defense against, honestly. That would be very out of character for Superman, in which most fights will honestly end in a stalemate unless Superman realizes what he's up against and decides to do one of the more brutal solutions. But on the other side, Plasticman doesn't really have a way to pit Superman down. His normal attacks won't really hurt the Man of Steel, and he couldn't suffocate him by wrapping around him or anything. His only real option would be to hurt him from the inside out. But even then, when exposed to yellow sun radiation, Superman is as invulnerable on the outside as he is on the inside. So while he can try to do something through getting literally in Superman and damaging his insides, it might not do any lasting damage, resulting in a stalemate. But as said before, Superman possesses 2 of Plasticman's vulnerabilities, and if all else fails, chuck him to the sun. going super fast before he even has time to react. But that shouldn't undersell Plasticman, as Batman himself not only has a hard time prepping against him, which by the way should say something as most fans hold Batman as the master of prep time, but even Batman himself says Plasticman is his contingency, the Martian Manhunter, as he is immune to telepathy and is versatile enough to hold his own. But yeah, what do you think about this battle? Or even just the characters in general? Would you like to see Plasticman in more things? Do you think he's underrated? Do you think he's stupid and not the kind of character you like? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, thanks for watching.